Hello, my crafty friends. Well, today I have a very simple fun fold card idea to share with you, and you can use any supplies you have on hand to create these cards. Hi, it's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this episode of Stamptastic TV, I have a fun fold card idea that I want to share with you, and I will feature this card in portrait and landscape style. So you have two different ways that you can use this fun fold card in your card making. Now the cards in this video feature the Best Butterflies stamp set from Stampin' Up. So this is a new stamp set from the 2022-2023 Stampin' Up annual catalog. The cards also feature some of the designer paper from the Butterfly Kisses Designer Series paper collection. So there's a lot of bright and fun patterns in this particular collection. Okay, so let me show you how to make these cards. So the first fun fold card idea I have for you is featured in portrait style. So this is what the fun fold looks like. So it's really simple to put together, and you can use any supplies you have on hand. So let me show you how to make it. So you're going to start with a piece of cardstock, which is cut at 5.5 by 7 inches, and then it's scored at 4.25 inches. So this creates the base of your card. Now I'm using fresh freesia cardstock just because it matches my designer paper, but you can use any cardstock, any colors that you have on hand. The next thing you want to do is you want to cut a 4 by 4 inch piece of the same cardstock color that you're using for the base of the card. So this is just 4 by 4, and then I scored a 1 inch section here to create this little flap. So this is going to get adhered to the inside of your card. Now you have two options for adhering it. So you can adhere it directly to the inside and match it up with the edge of your card here. Or you can match it up with the piece that you're going to be using on the inside of the card. So it just depends on if you want the edge of this piece to be flush with your card, then you'll adhere that first. Or if you want it to be flush with your inside piece, then you'll adhere to your inside piece. So for example, this one is not flush with the edge of the card. This one I actually adhered directly to my inside piece, so that when you open it up, you don't see anything but the seam here. So you decide which style you like best. So the first thing I'm going to do is adhere this 4 by 4 inch piece to a 4 by 5.25 inch piece of white cardstock. So this white cardstock is going to go on the inside of my card here. And this little flap is just going to get adhered to this white piece before I adhere it down to the inside of the card. So you just want to add some adhesive to this little flap, and then you want to take your white cardstock and just line it up so it goes right up to that folded section. So you're just adhering the 1 inch section behind your white cardstock. Okay. So now I have my little fun fold flap. So now I'm just going to adhere this piece down to my card. So now that little flap is hidden behind this white piece, and you have a little fun fold section. So this larger section folds over, and then this one folds on top. So that's it. Now we can go ahead and we can decorate it like this card. So the next thing you want to do is you want to cut a 2.5 by 5.25 inch piece of pattern paper. So I'm going to use this beautiful butterfly paper on my front section here. So this will just get adhered right to this front flap on the left side of the card. Then the next thing you want to do is cut a 2.75 by 3.75 inch piece of a different pattern. So I used kind of a more subtle pattern for this piece. And you want to adhere it to that little flap here on our card front. Then you're going to cut a 1.25 by 2.75 inch piece of white cardstock. And I'm going to use some Starry Sky ink. And I'm going to stamp my greeting right on this piece. And then this piece will just adhere right to our card front, right to this little flap. So I'm just gonna adhere it up towards the top here. Now the cool thing about this paper is you can use these cute little butterfly images that are in this paper. You can just cut them out and use them as little embellishments on your card. So that's what I did. So I'm gonna add one up there. And I just popped them up with a couple dimensionals. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of twine. So I took some of the new In Color twine and I tied a little piece together into a little bow here. And I just adhered it with a glue dot just to add just a little bit more embellishing to the card. And then for the finishing touch, I just added a couple little pearls. So the twine and the pearls just really kind of accent the card nicely, and it pulls out all the different colors. All right, so that's the front of the card. And then on the inside, all I did is I simply cut a 3/4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of designer paper. So it's the same paper I used on the front. And then I just added it on the inside. And I always leave mine blank so that I can write a personalized message, but you certainly can stamp something on the inside as well. All right, so there you go. That is our first fun fold in portrait style. Okay, then you can also use this design in landscape style. So let me bring back the portrait. So if I were to create it in portrait, this is how it looks in portrait style. But if I just turn the card and decorate it differently, I have a landscape style card. So basically the measurements are exactly the same. You just want to make sure that you're cutting your pattern paper appropriately if you're doing it in landscape versus portrait style. So this is how I decorated my card. I just added a little butterfly on the front that I cut out from the designer paper. And then I used a variety of different papers and of course some circle shapes here to decorate the front. And then on the inside, I just added another circle shape and some designer paper is what I used to kind of hold my flap down here. So that little 1-inch section is right underneath this designer series paper piece. So then I left a little spot here to write a personalized message. So it's just another fun way to use this fun fold card design to create some really adorable cards. Okay, so there you go. Now you have 2 different ways that you can use this fun fold idea in your card making. And if you enjoyed these card ideas, feel free to download the printable tutorial. You can find the link in the description below this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it and sharing it with your friends. And leave me a comment below to let me know what you enjoyed most about the video and the card shared here today. Have a fun and creative day, my friends. Take care.